Hello, welcome back to my channel, Jenjoy Plans. Today I am using the Cyber Monday Mystery Kit from Scribble Prints Co. It is so freaking stunning. I am obsessed. It came with this Hollow Waves Retro Groovy foil bundle, which I believe is in shop and just in different colors. But yeah, I decided to pair it with it because why not? Came together. I typically don't purchase like mystery kits like this, but she did sneak it on Instagram and I was like, yes, please. I love orange and green, especially this like chartreuse ugly green color. Obsessed. Not a pink girl, but all the groovy vibes. I am here for it. I love it. I love the foil bundle. Even though it's kind of hard to see. I know some people were upset about that, but overall, like the smiley faces, I think still look adorable, and I love the kiss cut quotes that she included, and just like Kitness Girl just killed this artwork. It is so stunning. So I love it. And I don't typically use luxe kits, or like the bigger kits, but I needed so many extenders. I used 4 extenders this week because we were down in Arizona visiting family. This was my midwinter break, which if you are unfamiliar, since that seems to be like a very rare thing, or maybe like a niche thing to my area, it is just like the week around President's Day for a break, and some people get like 3 days off, 4 days off. We get a whole week off, but that's midwinter break, the break in between like Christmas break and like spring break. So we were down there for 9 days and it was great. So I'm gonna run through some of the plans that I did, since I planned this all memory style off camera afterwards. I was so rusty. I was gonna film it and talk through it, but I was so rusty that I decided I just couldn't. I needed time, and I'm just like not familiar with the SPC kit format as well, so it took me a while to figure out box sizes. But I have to say that I love the little boxes that she includes, and there's just so many options, so it was great. Okay, let's start going into the plans. On Monday, we got to just chill in the morning, and then we picked up my parents at the airport. They came down a couple days later, and then we drove down and visited Tyler, who is my husband. His grandma lives down in Arizona, about 45 minutes to an hour away. So we got to spend the day with her. The last time that we really got to hang out with her was last spring break, so it's been a while, and we wanted to see her at Christmas time, but we got sick, so we owed her the day. And it was so good to just spend time with her. She took us to her favorite lunch spot, and she is in this like really cute little community, 55 plus community. So we went and played, like she toured us around, and she wanted us to play this like game that's called Holy Hole. I'm convinced they made it up there. It's kind of like cornhole, but with like washers that you just like throw in a board. I don't know, but that community is poppin', and we were late to sign up, so we didn't get to play, thank goodness. But there was like 80 people out there for this event. It was, like I said, poppin'. It was so cool. I love seeing her live her best life, and it's so fun to visit her down there. Then we stopped at Flower Child on the way home, and if you're unfamiliar with that restaurant, it's like my favorite restaurant in Arizona, even though it's in lots of other places, but we just don't have one in Washington, so it's like my special treat. My husband and I never eat out. If you've been part of my channel, you've like seen that, but we ate out so much this week, and it was so good but so bad. I feel like I came back so bloated and gained that vacation weight for sure. And then on Tuesday, we went to another favorite place called the Original Chop Shop. And I just love these like healthy, faster food type places where you can like sit down, like fast casual, I should say. And like some of these places make kombucha on tap, which I'm just a sucker for. Or they just have really fresh salads and sandwiches and just tons of gluten-free options. So it just like doesn't feel heavy. It just feels good. And you get to sit outside, and it's just the best. And then we did a lot of driving around different areas this week, because if you've also been following along, you know that my husband and I are considering moving down to Arizona. And we have a general area, but you know, every neighborhood and every kind of like pocket area feels different. So it was so good to just drive around this week. We spent a lot of time doing that, figuring out what areas feel good, what have grocery stores nearby, what areas maybe feel like a little more sketchy or a little like not our style, or not places nearby, or not near my place of work, and for like commute times and all that, or what areas have dog parks or accessibility to like parks because backyards are not that big. So yeah, overall, it was just like really good to do that. And then on Tuesday night, we got to hang out with my family. It was so good to see my nephews, and we went out for pizza, or actually we ordered it in. And we learned a couple new games. The first game we learned was that card game, I think it's called Taco, Cat, Goat, Cheese, Pizza, or something like that. And that was really fun to play with the little boys. And my mom was just like a hoot with card games like that, because she's super competitive, but, you know, not always the fastest, and it's funny. And then we also learned the game Blank Slate, I think it's what it's called, and that game is super fun, especially with a bigger group. That game, like, all of us played, so we had, I think, 10 people playing, and it was so fun. Like, even the little boys were playing. I mean, not the youngest, but all the rest of us, and I highly recommend if you've never played that game before, you're just like you fill in a blank, so it will say like bear blank, and then you need to like guess, and you want to try to find connections, but you don't want to have too many commonalities for like the point scoring. Anyways, I won't get into it. That's probably a terrible explanation, cliffhanger there, but if you want to know more, or if you're interested, definitely check it out. And then on Wednesday, did more driving around, Chipotle, and I was prepping for my interview because I was interviewing at a new school, or at a school down there, and that was really exciting. That was happening on Thursday, so I was feeling all the nerves on Wednesday, but it was so great. We ended the night by watching my nephew's baseball game, and then going to dinner with my other brother who lives down there, and my parents. So, it was just like a great family night, just like end the night and feel good because I was feeling so anxious. Then on Thursday, I did have that interview. It went super well. I got called back for like a second interview that I'll do via Zoom coming up, and that just felt like really good and validated, and it's at the school that my nephews are at. And so my sister-in-law, she kind of had like an insight, and she had texted me a couple days after, and she's like, a little birdie told me that, you know, you were really loved, and that just felt like so good because you never know. So yeah, it was good, but I was so freaking nervous. And then afterwards, I feel like I had an adrenaline like drop, you know, when you're just like, you've worked yourself up. And then I was so exhausted, like I couldn't even decide what I wanted for lunch, which, you know, I guess is kind of normal. But we ended up back at Chick-fil-A. I had Chick-fil-A 3 times this week, or this trip. I've never had it before, and then all of a sudden I had it 3 times within 1 week. It was kind of wild, but super good. The grilled nuggets are gluten-free, and that was awesome. And I love their like tea lemonade combo. I forget what it's called, but that was super good. Then we drove around more and did more house shopping, like loosely house shopping. We weren't doing open houses, but area shopping. And then I came back and did some work for school, and my husband and I got a gift card for Christmas for a restaurant that was down there. And so we got to have a little date night, and that was really nice. Then on Friday, we drove back down to my husband's grandma's place because his parents were there along with his aunt and uncle who flew in from Minnesota. So I hadn't met this aunt and uncle in I'd met them, but it's been a really long time. Like it was when we were engaged, or maybe not even engaged yet. We were trying to do the math, and that was really fun to just hang out with them for the day and spend more time, you know, with my husband's grandma. And we went back to Flower Child because everybody had a consensus that was their favorite, and I wasn't complaining. And then we went, and they really love pickleball. Like his aunt and uncle play it like every night, and Tyler's grandma also loves pickleball. She plays in her community and was like playing in a tournament this week. It's so cute. So Tyler and I had never played pickleball before, and I'm like not super sporty, so I just wanted to watch for a little bit. And then there was a court next door open to it, and I was like, okay, let's learn, let's practice. I was not wearing the right shoes, like I was wearing Birkenstocks, so we learned how to play. Tyler's grandma taught us, and it was really, really fun. Like I would totally do it. And being in a place where you have warmer weather, you can just play more. Like Washington is just so rainy and cold that I wouldn't play here. Let's be real. And then we ordered DoorDash Jersey Mike's, and that was my first time having Jersey Mike's. But it was pretty good. I felt so bloated though later that night. We played 5 crowns and then we drove home, and it was just a really long and exhausting day, but it was good. It was good to have like Tyler's side family time and my side family time, and it was really well balanced this week for the most part. So that felt good. And then on Saturday was crazy. I honestly should have used double extenders, but I made it work. Saturday, we went to 4 different games of my nephews. I honestly do not know how my brother and sister-in-law do it. Like this is their every Saturday. It's absolutely bonkers. So, we went to Starbucks, and then we went to my 2nd grade nephew's baseball game. We grabbed him, so then because my brother and sister-in-law had to go different ways with each of the other 2 boys, so we took the 2nd grader and took him to Chick-fil-A, because then we took him to his basketball tournament game. They won the first game, but then they lost the second, so that was really fun to watch him. Basketball is so intense. I don't know if that's a universal thing or not. I am just not a basketball person, and I just like the coaches were just yelling, and I'm like, they're 2nd graders. It was crazy. So long story long, it was wild. Then we did kind of a swap, and we went, dropped my mom and that nephew off at one of the brothers' baseball games, and then my dad and I drove over to the littlest baseball game. He is just in pre-K, and we only caught like the last 25 minutes of his game, but he just like loved having us there. He kept on thumbsing up and being like yelling at us like, "Grandpa, Auntie Jen, watch this. And it was just a hoot. So that was good. And then we buzzed over to the oldest one, who's in 5th grade, and watched his game. And that was a really good game as well. Then I marked being able to have like a lot of chat time with my dad in the car, and that was really good, because I just love talking with my dad, and don't always get to do it. And then we found a gluten-free dedicated bakery, which is like a celiac's dream, and we stopped and he got me a couple things, and that was really sweet. And then after all of that game, all the game madness, we went out to pizza to celebrate my mom's belated birthday. And my nephews picked out this giant Sorry game for her, because my mom loves games. And so we went back to their house and we played it, and it was way past bedtime, so it was kind of a little crash and burn situation, but it was still super fun. And it was like, it felt like you were putting out a giant twister board, but it was all good. And then Sunday, we just had like a day to relax. I got to read a lot of my book because the rest of the week was so crazy. I barely got to read, and that felt good to just like relax in the sun, read, pack. I watched Peter Rabbit on the plane ride home, and then we got to pick up Sadie, and we got in like so late with all of that combination. So that was just a really crazy but relaxing, like it felt good to end the week with a really relaxing day for the most part, even though I stayed up really late. But that is it for this spread. Sorry I talked crazy fast through some of those plans, but it was just a really great week, and I'm really, really thankful for that time, and just to have kind of like an oasis. And it was hard to come back to reality, but it was just a really special week. So I'm glad I had such a fun kit to mark that. And here is kind of the close-ups, and let's skip to the end to see my final spread. All right, here is the finished spread. I am truly freaking obsessed with this spread. I'm so glad I used it this week. I just feel like it was the perfect week to use it. It screamed February to me, and it just like, it was perfect for vacation, because this wasn't like sitting by the pool vacation. Like, we were at home, but we are getting things done, hanging out with family, like looking at houses, and I don't know, it just like, this just fits the vibe of the week, and the bright colors, I just love it. I feel like I am my best self in Arizona, and this kit is just like so me, so it's just fun. So I use lots and lots of extenders, and I think I talked through the whole spread I used even one more extender in my day by day. It's like way later when I'm filming this comeback moment, but yeah, that is pretty much it for the week. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye everyone.